The Purge is the latest film to come from the producers of the Paranormal Activity series Insidious and Sinister, and stars Ethan Hawke as a security salesman who sells alarm systems to properties in the near future, the year 2022, when, for one night only, all crime has been decriminalised in what is called the Purge. Now, the Purge allows people to go out and do pretty much whatever they want for a 12-hour period. All emergency services, so police, fire engines, ambulances, have been suspended for that 12-hour window. During the Purge, while Ethan Hawke's family is under lockdown, his son takes in a stranger. And then the film basically becomes a siege movie when a group of purgers turn up at the door and say, "Release the stranger to us, allow us to kill him, otherwise we'll kill your family." That's the basic setup of the film, and to be honest, that's one of the main problems I have with it. Now, the reason I was looking forward to this film, other than the fact that I'm a fan of all the other films that these guys have done, is the fact that the idea is absolutely brilliant. You know, the idea of decriminalised activity for a 12-hour period, people being allowed to do whatever they want. According to some text at the beginning of the movie, this actually works. Unemployment and crime are at an all-time low in the United States and America because of this purge that's been brought in. Now, they don't do enough with the actual idea of the Purge. Essentially, the film becomes your average home invasion siege movie. It becomes a cross between Funny Games and Assault on Precinct 13, when they have this really, terrific idea for a futuristic science fiction / horror movie, and they just do nothing with it. And I imagine that's because of the budget. To be fair to the film, it is shot really well. A lot of the film, the majority of the film in fact, is shot in extreme close-up, sort of shaky cam, and is naturally sort of lit in that the only lighting in the set seems to be what the actors have. Once the power is cut inside the property, all the lighting seems to be with torches and stuff like that. So it's effectively well made, but it's just that lack of exploration into its brilliant concept which really does hinder it, because you look at it and you think, God, I've seen countless home invasion movies before now. What are you doing that's different? Give me something that's different. I mean, this film, I believe, is less than 90 minutes long, and it started to drag. I am a fan of Ethan Hawke, and I'll watch absolutely anything that he's in, and to see him playing, the slicked back, sort of greasy, wheeler-dealer salesman was, refreshing from his usual role of, the sort of clean-cut good guy. He's, there's a little bit of a darkness to his character, which, again, they don't really do much with, but that's established for him. This is probably a mild spoiler, but, once the siege begins and his wife, played by Lena, Headey, who I really like, she asks him, this place is secure, isn't it? Because he's using the security system that he's been selling to all his neighbours. And he's like, well, nothing's completely secure. It seems like, there's a little bit of something going on there, but they don't really explain that. But it's always nice to see Ethan Hawke. I'll watch whatever he's in. He's got a great presence, even in a film as average as this. It's sort of worth watching for Ethan Hawke, because he is very, very cool. The film does hint at certain ideas that it has, and then drops them, which is really frustrating. It hints at the idea of classist behaviour or classistness becoming prevalent in modern America, in that, some people see the Purge as an excuse to wipe out what they probably consider to be, the lower classes, the people who can't afford to defend themselves for that 12 hours. And that point actually comes crashing home, but I won't go into that. And it also, looks at the idea of the middle class or the well-to-do sort of middle class and above being able to secure the homes adequately, and the upper classes as well. And then it hints at the fact that actually the worst people in the Purge, the people who, do most of the purging, is probably the upper middle classes. The other people, the lower end of the spectrum, aren't going to be able to defend themselves, let alone go out there and purge. So there's some really, really interesting political and sociological undertones and ideas in this movie, but it sort of drops it all in favour of a straight up home invasion film. And don't get me wrong, you know, the home invasion stuff, it's well shot, it's entertaining while it's on, but you can't help it in the back of your mind, you're thinking, you know, I want them to explore all these different ideas, I want to see the wider context of the Purge, I want to see how it's affecting the country and the different classes and the classes I want to see out on the streets and what's happening during the night. So it's an interesting film for the film that it could have been. The film that it is a very average home invasion film. It's got a couple of good actors in it. Like I said, I love Ethan Hawke, I like Lena Headey. You know, it's just not the sum of its parts. So The Purge is a sort of thing that, you know, it will be a decent watch late at night, but it ultimately is a missed opportunity and probably one of the biggest disappointments of the year so far.